good.
Because that's what we do. All right, Tammy, who are we? What are you going to talk to us about?
You all are our township community board zoning people.
Okay.
And I'm talking today about generational living and what are the benefits of that. And thank you for letting me be here and talk with you.
Tammy, I'm sorry to interrupt. What's one skill? What do you want to work with while you're out there?
Focus.
So that's good. All right. So audience focus. So before you even start, take a breath, take a look at some faces, and see if you can keep going back to them. And go for it.
Thanks for letting me be here this evening. I want to share with you a few stories, and I'm representing myself as a mom, but I'm also representing myself as a daughter. And more importantly, I will also represent myself as a realtor and serving our community. And in that, I want to talk to you about the benefits of generational living and maybe challenge you to think outside the box, challenge your bias, and hopefully share some information with you that you hadn't thought of before. So my story started with my, I'll call him my middle son. As he was finishing up college, he decided, hey, I'm not really sure what I want to do. I'm like, come on home and we'll get you into real estate, property management. You can do maintenance and all of these things. And so long story short, it turned out to be a very viable project that he was working on. And so not only were we cohabitating and living in the same home, we were working together. What we found was that working together environment became very stressful. Imagine that. But we had the downtime when we were at home to come back to a base, to connect, to, okay, look at it a different way. And I've learned as much from him as hopefully he has learned from me, but it helped us in our business setting as much as it helped us in our home setting. So then fast forward and, a number of years later, we're living and we're doing and everything is going on, and I reach a point where my mother needs to have some care, and she's been living independently, sudden onset of an illness that we were not prepared for, and I wanted to be there for her. And I brought her into the home, and as much as she wanted to live independently, it wasn't an option. And as much as I wanted to find a place where I could put a tiny home and I would be there and we could have oversight, we didn't have the time. So we made do with what we had, and we lived together in this household. And what I know now that happened is that we had the benefit of 3 generations living under one roof in a very critical time point that otherwise I would have lost, that we would have missed the opportunity. So as I come to you today, and I hopefully have opened your eyes on why there are these different dynamics, we understand there are kids that when they turn 16, 17, 18, they start getting this itch and they can't wait to get out on their own and live independently. But then there's those times where we are as parents thinking, oh my gosh, I have to be an empty nester. What am I going to do now? As a realtor, I deal with all of these stories that people bring and what they're looking for in a home. So our communities represent that opportunity for people to come back to a base, to live the style of life that they need to. And what we are seeing now is more and more a need for multi-generational living, whether it's under the same household or it is in an accessory dwelling unit. Our zoning may have to adjust, because let me give you a few numbers, and hopefully this will open your eyes. We currently have 59 million plus people who are age 65 and older. We have 1 in 3 adult children ages 18 to 34 who are moving back home. And we have people who are in their 40s that are that generational sandwich that we're talking about, that generation of a sandwich. 54% of people are dealing with this. So this isn't a passing phase. This isn't somebody just wanting to have a tiny home in their backyard or build on an ADU or anything like that. This is really addressing what is our demographics in our communities and something that we need to do. So I'd like to challenge you today to say, don't think ill that the son who still lives at home with mom is still living at home with mom. And let's not think of the burden of taking care of our aging parents. Why can't they just sell their house? Then we'd have more inventory, right? Understand that everybody has a different reason for what they need, and that home base is what we can offer, whether it's a generational living for one or a generational living for multiples.